In this video we'll show you my secret statistics after approaching over 6,000 girls. Alright, today we have a very hot and strange topic, so in a moment I will show you all my numbers, all my statistics after approaching over 6,000 girls, not in one day, not in 1 year, not in 2 years, since 2015 until today. So I'm recording this video still in 2022, so in 7 years of approaching. But actually, like in the last 2 years, I approached very few girls, because when you're expert, you need much less approach to get a result like sex. And so we can say that it's like from 2015 until 2019, okay? Because the majority of these approaches were done from 2015 until 2019. I think from 2020 until 2022 I did less than 500 approaches, okay? So like the majority were done in the first 4 years. And it's something that nobody have ever done, to counting exactly all the statistics, or if you find it, it's very, very rare, because nobody is crazy like me, or like other people. But I never found anyone else that was tracking his statistics in a so much detailed way, and you will see it now in a moment. And with these statistics, I don't want to discourage anybody, because maybe you will see, especially when I was in my beginning, you will see very high numbers to get a result, okay? Only because I was stupid and I was not learning from people that were more successful than me. I was broke, so I didn't have the money for learning with courses, with coaching programs from people that were more expert than me, and so I was just trying to figure it out by myself, which is the stupid way and also the longest way. So don't be discouraged from the high numbers that you will see in the first part of my quote-unquote career with success with women. And another disclaimer is that it's not mandatory to track your statistics if you want to be successful with women. You can also just start approaching without tracking your statistics, without tracking how many numbers or dates you're going to. But it's actually a benefit if you're able to track also your statistics, because what gets measured gets improved. So let's start showing this image with all the statistics. Actually, these are not all the statistics that I have. I have much more numbers and statistics to show, but in this video I will not show everything, because it would be too long and also too complicated to explain some things. So we will not go in details about everything in this video, but we will see many interesting things. I was not keeping track of statistics every time, because it's a very it takes a lot of effort to track statistics every time that you go out to approach, count how many approaches you're doing. It's easier to count how many numbers and how many dates you're doing. But it's a very hard work to keep track of every statistic. So I did it with periods, okay? So not every time. And the first period that I measured is actually a very long period, from June to 2015 until February 2017. So let's say like 1 year and a half or something like this. So I was getting one, and we're talking about approaches in daytime situations. So we're not counting approaches that I did in nighttime situations, so at clubs, and also we're not counting approaches that I did in online dating apps. Okay, so these are approaches specifically only for daytime situations. So approaching girls in the street, in a shopping mall, on the beach, the gym, I don't know, every kind of daytime situation. In a bar during the day, so all the different daytime situations. So I was getting, in my beginning, one phone number every 9 approaches, and ultimately to measure like your skills, you only have to watch how many girls you're having sex with out of how many approaches. Okay, so there are no official definitions, but I consider if you're having sex with one girl out of 100 approaches, you can consider beginner. If you're having sex with if you need more than 100 approaches to have sex with one girl from the daytime situation, you can consider below beginner. If you're having sex with a girl every 50 approaches from daytime situations, you can consider intermediate. And if you're having sex with a girl out of 30 approaches from daytime situations, you can consider yourself expert. You can consider yourself advanced. If you're having sex with with a girl out of 10 approaches, 20 approaches, 5 approaches, 8 approaches, or something like this, you can consider very expert. And if you think that it's a very high number, that you need 30 approaches to have sex with one girl, then you would be you're expert. Try approach girls in daytime situations, in the street, in your everyday life, in a shopping mall, and see what is your statistic, and then you will see that yeah, if you are able to have sex with one girl out of every 30 approaches, yeah, you can consider yourself advanced. Because many people they are too scared of getting rejected, so they already get demotivated after getting rejected only once. They cannot even imagine approaching 30 girls. They interact with like one girl every year, so they cannot even imagine approaching 30 girls, 100 girls. But you can do it in like 1 month, approaching 100 girls, and actually also in less time. But no, let's not go in too much in other topics, and let's stay focused on the statistics topic. So one date, so we're still in the first part, one date every 9 phone numbers. And this is still like a very beginner statistic. You can consider yourself, if you're getting a date every 10 phone numbers, consider yourself a beginner. A date every like 5 numbers, intermediate, and a date every 2 or 3 numbers, you can consider yourself advanced. But as I told you, there are no official definitions. One date every 89 approaches, still beginner situation. Also for the dates, it's like if you're getting a date every 100 approaches, beginner, every 50 approaches, intermediate, every 30 approaches, you can consider yourself advanced. But ultimately, as I told you, you have to watch approaches and sex. One girl I slept with every 198 approaches. Of course, it's not acceptable. I'm for sure doing something wrong. Okay, so this was like my first year and a half. As I told you, you will not have these numbers. You will probably have lower numbers, so numbers that are better. If you follow a step-by-step method, a proven method. If you try to do it by yourself, you will just get rejected, discouraged, you will give up, and you will end up alone for the rest of your life, or you will just end up in a shitty relationship with a girl that you actually don't like, but you are just settling for that relationship because you're not able to find a better girl, because you're not able to meet girls in a predictable way. Does it sound good, or does it sound a shit life? Okay, so if it sounds to you a shit life, you have to do something else for getting a better life. Let's go to the next period, which is from September 2018 to December 2018. So I stopped measuring my statistics for like more than 1 year, because as I told you, it's a very hard work to measure statistics. And here I'm not even giving you like how many approaches I did in total, how many phone numbers, because then the video would be too long. And also I don't think that this is I don't think that it's worthy a free video to give all my statistics for free. So if you allow me, I will not give everything for free in this video. So one phone number every 8 approaches, so still pretty much the same. One date every 7 phone numbers, and one date every 51 approaches. So here we can see that it's becoming a more intermediate. I was already teaching Success with Women in 2018, but I was just teaching it as a hobby. It was not serious. I started in a more serious way in July 2019, teaching Success with Women, but I started in July 2018 in a non-serious way, just as a hobby. Then I started producing online content also in 2019. So there I was still a hobby. I was still good with girls, because I was having sex with one girl every 86 approaches. So we can consider this statistic between a beginner and intermediate. So it's not super good, but I was on my way for becoming very expert. And then we go to the next period, which is from January 2019 to February 2019, which is a 2-month period. And I got one phone number for every 4 approaches, one date every 2 phone numbers. So here we are seeing that the statistics are becoming like a more advanced. Because I also remember in those months I learned all the principles to get a very solid phone number, and I can see the statistics that it made the difference. One date every 8 approaches. This is very good. and one girl I slept with every 32 approaches. And actually you can also from these statistics you can also deduct how many dates I was taking to have sex with a girl. So if I was having a date every 8 approaches, but if I was if I was having sex with a girl every 32 approaches, it means that I was having sex with a girl every 4 dates. Okay, so as I told you, I'm not giving to you here all the statistics, but some of the statistics that are not shown, you can just understanding it by just making the math. Then another period is from April 2019 to May 2019, so I stopped for a few months to measure statistics. And we have one phone number every 7 approaches, which is still, we can say, beginner, but it doesn't matter, because maybe sometimes I was approaching her, I was talking to her like for a few minutes, and then maybe I was not getting the phone number on purpose because maybe I was not interested enough. Okay, sometimes. Okay, so it's a beginner statistic, but as I told you, the ultimate statistic that you have to watch is approach, how many approaches you're doing, and how many girls you're having sex with. So one date every 2 phone numbers. So here I was getting very solid phone numbers, and that's why sometimes I was not getting the phone number, because I already knew that it was not solid. So that's why it's one phone number every 7 approaches, and one date every 12 approaches, and one girl I slept with every 23 approaches. So also here you can understand that I was having sex with one girl every 2 dates. Okay, if you just have to do the math. Then let's go to the last period that I measured, which is from September 2021 to December 2021, where I was getting one phone number every 5 approaches, one date every 2 phone numbers. Actually, this is not precise, because it was actually 2 dates every 3 phone numbers, which means that it's around, it should be like 1 date every 1.5 numbers. So it doesn't make sense, so I just wrote every 2 phone numbers, but it's actually even better. It's it would be like a 60-70% conversion rate between phone numbers and dates. And one date every 8 approaches, and one girl I had sex with every 8 approaches. And also here you can see that it's exactly the same of dates. So I was having sex in every date I was doing. Now actually this is not the general rule, because sometimes there will be dates or girls that you will not have sex with, but in this period of time from September 2021 to December 2021, so in a period of 4 months I was having sex with every girl I was going on a date with. But it's usually impossible to have a 100% success rate in the long term. So if I was measuring the statistics also in January 2022, February 2022, probably there was also girls that I had date with and I didn't have sex with them. So I hope that after seeing these statistics you're not discouraged. If you're discouraged, leave this channel, unsubscribe, because these videos are not for you. Probably there's no chance for you. I hope that actually these numbers, these statistics motivated you, okay, to understand and to see what's possible. Okay, I'm currently, as you see in the last statistics, I'm currently able to have sex with a girl every 8 approaches, talking about daytime situations, which is a very like a peaceful situation. You're totally free. I'm able to go out whenever I want, and in 1, 2, 3 days able to have sex with a new girl, with a high quality girl that I choose. So if you want to start dating new high quality women you meet in your everyday life in just 90 days, click the link in the description below and schedule a free consultation call where I will create an individual step-by-step plan to reach your goal from your current situation.